I think we're live. Kramer has ruined what used to be a pretty awesome device by overusing it. All right. All right, wire off. I think I need a kill switch for that one. Is that off? Doesn't sound it, does it? Let me look at the look at the thing. Is it still on? Yeah, it says it's still on, huh? Why isn't that working? No? No? Huh. Well, that's weird. Oh, am I down one? No. Oh, that is weird. But there's that. Oh, no. Huh. Oh, and it's not working there either. Oh, that is weird. Huh. Well, that was quick. I don't know why, but, well, let me just try one thing real quick. Yeah, when in doubt, let's turn the stupid thing off and back on again. Right? Because it should be. No. Is it, Did I turn it on? No, it didn't. What about right there? No. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, it's not showing up here either. Boy, that is odd. What? Just out of curiosity. Because now we have a bit of a mystery. If I go here. And then here. Oh, no, it's there. All right. Okay. All right. I wonder if it has to do with OBS. No, because I had it running and it was working. Well, that is odd. That is weird. It's like really, really weird. Huh. All right. Go back here. Yeah, so I hooked up the pedal board. As you could hear, you heard the whim. I had the wah pedal going. And then I switched it to the whammy, and now none of it works. None of the stomp pedals work any longer. None of the whammy works. None of it works. It's all friggin' no longer working. Just out of curiosity, is the tuner working? No, because when I look on the main unit here, hold on, let me turn that. Well, now it's showing it. Well, which is it? Hold on. There it goes. I just fixed it. Yeah, and I can hit that. Oh yeah, and it goes off. And then if I hit that, yeah, it would have sucked if the main premise of, like, you know, this week, which is that I got a pedal board going, suddenly didn't work. It would be quite defeating. You know what they say, tight shoes hurt defeat. Oh, thanks, Vimps. Happy Saturday, loving the NAM videos, thank you. I don't think I have any more. That might have been the last one, the Sully one. And I almost didn't put that out because of the friggin', Swayo vision, but it wasn't that bad. I went with it anyway. What's up, J Beebs, John, funny ass guitar guy, Terry, 3G, Gary, Ben Coombs, Retro Puffer, Stu Pop, Michael D, of course, Vimps, Richard, Zach. Exactly, goddamn IO. You're a serial boss. Yeah, it's what's up, Tony? Star Guitar Works Speaker. What's up, dude? Jay Chef and Matt and Tim and Daryl and Rockin' Rob and Saint Shamrock and Electro Omega. Everybody's here. Ben Coombs, if I didn't mention it. John Gregory. Probably DNS. It's always DNS, yep. Exactly. Got his he got his BNC stuck in my Ethernet. Oh. Tuning in for Vermont. Bonjour. Vermont. Yep, MTV old school. What's pretty good is I have a one-step, one stomper for the tuner, so I should be able to just, well, you gotta hit the right one. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. Do. What's up, Candy? Yeah, I love the Vola too. I've been playing the Volas a lot. Yeah, that's an eart. One of them earts. Exactly. BNCs are how people catch STIs. Next thing you know, you're in a twisted pair. Did you buy my RG560 new? I did, but I don't have the case, Candy. I'm sure that's long gone. You know who was there when I got that? Speaker. I believe Speaker's exact words are, seriously, are you buying this? I was like, I am, damn it. And we went back and we realized how much nicer the neck was on that RG560 versus that white ESP, where the neck was kind of big. It was kind of a chonky neck. What else we got down here? We'll call this the 550 Violet Pearl, but we would call it Violent Pearl, but Violet Pearl. Zappa? No, that'd be Cheech and Chong. It's way more lowbrow. They probably did steal it from Frank. We're gonna do it like that's the Crybaby emulation. They also have a Vox. I think I like the Crybaby better though. Yeah, I just had a big thing held up in customs for quite a while. I had to file a declaration of no toxic composites. I was like, really? I mean, it's pretty basic. So that is the Crybaby. But on the fly, I can switch it to, this is the Vox. A little bit different filter. You know, maybe not as pronounced. So that's the Vox. They call it Rocks because, you know, they don't want to get sued. This is the Crymaybe. A little bit more of a whack whack, right? That's the Crymaybe. That's the Rocks. Yeah, I think I like the Crymaybe better. All right, calm down. You're having fun. Oh. Well, listen, can we just make a declaration right now? Waz make everything better. I'll fight me. I gotta hear more wah pedal. That's poor man's wah. I couldn't afford the pedal, but I learned the technique. Oh, yeah, exactly. The cried gravy. Wah, 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 wah. Oh, man. What a pain in the ass to get this going, but I finally got it going. This is a, oh, Christ, who even makes this? It's Behringer, right? The FCB 1010. You know, it's a tank. The thing weighs a ton. It's got 2 expression pedals and a whole bunch of, can we go to 1010 cam? Let me see here. Not really. See it? You sort of see it. Maybe you see it. Yeah, kinda. Kinda right there. So it's right by my nut sacks. It's right down by my ball sack. Anyway. I finally got that going. Oh, thank you, Chad Boss. Good to see you at NAMM too, Chad. Good to see you there, buddy. I yelled out, Chad! As he went by. Because if it wasn't Chad, he wouldn't look. But he looked. He was like, hey, someone yelled my name. And it was him. We'll be a holdie very soon. Very cool. So it's the Behringer, yeah, the FCB 1010. And thank you, Chad. If I didn't say that, that's very generous. I've had this. I got that for $50, like in like 2018, I think 2017, a long time ago. And it's kind of a very grumpy pedal board to work with. I bought the Uno firmware update, which I never installed. I still have it on a shelf over there. But I did figure out, just using the stock firmware, you can download this piece of software to work with it, and you've got to like send it like SysX friggin' packets. It's way old school. No, it's way SysX, man. That is system exclusive messages. Whew. That's the Morse code of friggin' serial bods. And anyway, I was able to use that to get it to program it somewhat. And then what it really comes down to is just how friggin' easy THU makes it. Because you can choose an item and just say, I want the pedal board. What you listen to for MIDI signals, and when you hear them, you can either say, 1, make this globally. In other words, if I press like pedal number 5 and I hit that to like the digital delay, no matter what frickin' patch I'm in, that's going to work, the digital delay. It works, right? It's global. It's a global attachment. And then the other one is per patch. You could say, I want to attach it, and I want to attach it for what you're hearing right now, but only in this patch. If I go to another patch, we rewrite the whole thing on a per patch basis. So you can go either way. You can go globally or per patch. And I went globally because I use, quite frankly, a lot of the same pieces of software in the software. I tend to use the same reverb. I tend to use the same whatever. I think even if I switch it, as long as it's in the same family, you see how I was able to move from Cry Maybe, to Rocks, which was the Vox, and it still kept the, right, the pedal still turned it on and off, and the rocker still was assigned to the expression pedal. So it seems to work even if you change the item, as long as it's in the family, right? So I could change the distortion, and this is really not assigned to this particular distortion, but just distortions in general, I think. Again, I'll have to do a little bit more work on that to see how that works. But I've been having fun just going through and setting up, little things. I assigned one to the tuner. I left 1, 2, and 3 open so far, and what I'm going to try and do is assign those, because they're right up front, is assign those to a looper, right? So that when I can do like start, stop, and like playback and like read, right? So, because that it's hard to do it by hand. You really do need your foot sort of at the ready. But that's going to take more experimentation. I'll have to do it like this week. And I can tell you right now, programming this thing sucks. You do need a piece of software to just go in and generally do it. Then you have to start it up. After you make all the changes in the software, you have to turn the unit off, hold a button down and start it up. Press one button, then this other button to turn on ready to receive system exclusive messages. And then you have to send over the system exclusive messages. And then you have to hold down another pedal until a countdown happens on the screen, and that saves it. If you don't do that, everything's lost the second you turn it off or you move to another thing. So it is not a very easy pedal to program whatsoever. But I'm working. It's on my to-do list, okay? That SAC cam does not have the appeal of flame cam, admittedly. It is a grave error in marketing. What's up, Black Shoe Bear? It was all just for that. Good old Sysax. Right? You're like, it's 2024. Can we get beyond Sysax? Nope. No, you're still tied to 1983 technology. My Donner video was really good, and you can't believe just how unbelievably loud it is around there. The only one that wasn't loud was the Ilio booth, because we did that at 9:30 in the morning. But the Donner booth, the Sully booth, the Furrick booth, like any of those other ones where people had that close microphone, I can just tell you that it is absolutely pounding, and just, it's like the craziest Guitar Center you've ever walked into times a billion. It really is. When I walk, remember you heard it and you could hear like bump, 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 bump in the background, right? The guy hitting the drums. That's in a whole nother friggin' hall, right? I'm in Hall D. He's in Hall C, right? That's where all the friggin' drums are. And it's so friggin' loud, and I'm so friggin' far away from it, and it's 90 minutes before the show starts. It's like, oh my God, it's freaking loud there. If you really want it quiet, you would have to get there at like, they'll let you in at 7 a.m. You getting close to that would be good. Certainly 8 a.m. Once you get to, the show opens at 10. Once you get to even 9 a.m., there's a good amount of people already showing up to get their booths ready, to tune their stuff up. They're already playing their stupid blues riffs or Chugga Chugga Squeal. Chugga Chugga Squeal is one of the main things you're going to hear at any NAMM show. At any time, in any part of the guitar hall, somebody within earshot is going Chugga 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 Squeal, Chugga 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 Squeal, Chugga Squeal, Chugga Chugga Squeal. It is just, that is NAMM. That'd be my first metal song, Chugga Squeal. Apparently that's a thing. Chugga 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 squeal, chugga chug chugga squeal, chugga 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 chug chug squeal. I gotta work on that. We'll get it going. Chugga squeal, chugga chugga squeal. Very, very close to rapping, but they'll never admit it. I don't know if I have enough. I don't know if I'm detuned enough, you know. Right? Right. See, I'm off because I'm on the D. Right. Right there, bro. I just wrote. I was just telling them, Aljon, at the NAMM show, a lot of Chugga Squeal. That's the kids. That's all the kids do now. Chug, 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 chug. I got to be more detuned. I'm in E. Who's in E? I mean, come on. I have to be down in like C flat or some shit, and otherwise known as B. And you know, squeal, squeal. A. Thank you. Thank you. Where's my Grammy? Damn it. Where the hell is my goddamn Grammy? Hey, speaking of 10,000 volts, have you heard the new Ace Frehley tune? Walking on the Moon. I'm telling you, it's a pretty good tune. It's in D. They tune the guitars down a whole step, but it's a great little, you know. But it's down a whole step. It's a pretty good tune. I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to this album. The first two tunes I kind of like. I like both 10,000 volts and this new Walking on the Moon tune. I think it's pretty good. I gotta say, you know, it really does come down to your producer, and I just think he nailed it with this producer, because he's nailing the mix and the, you know, getting the. It's very well produced. It sounds good. I'm telling you. I can't wait for the whole record to come out. It's the first one that's come out. It sort of does remind me of his first, like, you know, 78, the Ace 78 album, you know. It really is good. Welcome to my life, Chugga Squeal. Exactly. It is. It is. It's all Chugga Chugga Squeal, man. Oh, no, the video is so bad. It's best not to look. Just listen. All right? He's cheesy, you know, and we love him for it. Well, you can only take, you know, so much Velveeta. Had lunch with Fish on Friday, Steve. Good times. Talked about your ride to LAX. Yeah. 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 We almost didn't get a friggin' Uber that morning. That was insane. My car's telling me like, a warning. Couldn't even get a friggin' Uber. He got Agufish got a what do I want to say, a lift. But then when the guy picked us up, he was like, "Oh, where are you going?" We're like, "LAX." He's like, "Really?" He didn't realize we were going to LAX. He might have declined that if he had really known we were going. He was like, "Oh, okay." I gave him all the cash I had in my pocket, which was $17 when we got there. I had $17. I had a 10, a 5, and 2 ones. And he was just about to leave. I go, hold up. I go, here. He was so happy. He was like, oh, they go, something a little off under the table. He's like, thank you. I said, we appreciate you coming at 4 a.m. to the friggin', to the airport. But that's the best time to go. It's friggin' 4 a.m. No traffic. I saw Mateo Mancuso, but I didn't get a chance to see him perform. Did I see Jay Leonard J? I did. In fact, I saw him perform. I made an effort to go over and see Jay Leonard J at the Yamaha booth. And he was great. His band is killing it. They sounded really good. It can't be as cheesy as Frehley's comment video with the Washburn guitar he never played. Yeah, it could be, though. Don't underestimate the cheese. You've been warned. Exactly. Exactly. Take a Funghua bus. Too bad you weren't able to make our event in LA. Had some cool access. I wanted to, Aljon, but Uber was quoting me about $100. Yeah, I guess it was about a 55-minute ride to get there. Up I-5, I think they said. Because, from Anaheim, even though I was pretty close to the highway, they still said it was going to be like, it was a while. It could have been surge pricing, but it was up there. I said, I can't do it. I wound up going to an event for, I think, Adam Hall Audio, where they had tacos and beer, tacos and beer, which are pretty good. Yeah, no, Jay's a really good player. I have not seen a lot of talk with Ace. So I was going to. I thought about it. But I don't think I can do it any longer. I think they sold out. But I could have purchased 2 of the, I think it's called like the rainbow speckled vinyls. So it's a clear vinyl record with, I think, red and blue drops in it, so that when it's on the platter, right, it looks like it's got like a, it's a color decorated friggin' piece of vinyl. That version, they had a few different colored vinyls. They had an orange, they had like, different ones. But that like colored speckled dot one was only available in person if you went to Sam Ash in New York on February 24th. And they wouldn't ship it to you. You had to get it in person, and it would be signed, and you would be meeting Ace Frehley. So you buy the record, $29 a record, so $60 in records, You pick them up in New York at Sam Ash on the 24th at the will call booth. Then you get in line where Ace will sign it, and then you leave and go home. The train ride down was about $111 on the Acela in the business class, and like 200 and I want to say 51 in first class, which is, it's kind of nice. So I thought about doing it. You could just take the business class down, do a little round trip. But I think I waited too long, and I believe they sold out. It wouldn't be too bad. Wouldn't be too bad of a ride. The Acela isn't too bad. It's like about 3.5 hours versus 5 hours on the regular train. Speaking, you were thinking of going to it. I should have reached out to you to see if you wanted to do it. I bet you would have done it. We could have left from 128. We don't even have to go into the city to catch the train. You can catch the Acela from the 128 lot. Right? That giant friggin' parking garage. You park at the parking garage. You take the Acela in literally for the day. You're back that night. I want to say they had the one to get was they had a 7 a.m. train that got in right before like 11 a.m. And then on the ride back, so then the signing was from 1 to 5. And I want to say the last train out on the Acela, I want to say was 4. So you'd have to get your ass over there early and get in line early because you don't want to be waiting and have to miss your train back. So get over there, get in early, get it signed, get the hell out of there. And then you have to be on the 4 o'clock, and you get in about 7:45, I think. It'd be a 4-hour drive, but it's such, like my wife said, it's so freaking hard to park in the city. It's a toll to get in the city. By the time you're done with tolls, just even driving into the city, you might as well just take the friggin' train. It'd be a long day. No, it'd be like a 12-hour day. You're on the 7 a.m. train, and you're not getting home until like 8 p.m. So, it's a good 13-hour day. So I have some news about, as some of you know, some of you I'm learning for the first time, the floor in my friggin' SUV there was flooding. I thought my wife had driven through a puddle, but turns out she that wasn't it. I mean, am I still going to blame her? Sure. But technically, it probably wasn't her that was the cause of this. What had happened is the sunroof drains that go down to the outside to drain the water out of the sunroof, because no sunroof is completely waterproof, and they know that when you're driving, especially, it drives water in. And so they just very smartly just put a big moat, a big channel around the edge, and the water just runs down into the corner out of these weep holes down these drains, and they drain out. Now, if the drains get clogged, it leaks out into the floor of the car. They make it so that it backs up and goes into the floor rather than back up and fall, because they don't want it to come from the ceiling because it'll ruin the interior. So they sacrifice the floor and the rug so they don't ruin the seating or have, when you're driving down the road, have water literally dropping on you from the goddamn ceiling. So it got friggin' it got clogged, and I didn't realize it. And the floor was just like soaking, sopping wet, like all the time. I couldn't figure it out, and I finally figured it out. And we had so much rain. Speaker, you know, anyone from the Boston area knows how much ridiculous amount of friggin' rain we had this year. It explains why the floor was always constantly friggin' soaked. And so I had heard, you know, jam a like a piece of weed whacker line down there. But the weed whacker line I had was pretty flimsy. Better than that, I had some, I want to say it was 10 gauge copper that they used to install that 30 amp line, right? The guy did individual strands to run, and we just had leftover, which he had wrapped up. And so I just picked a strand, right, which was pretty beefy, right? It's to hold 30 amps or maybe even 55 amps. It's pretty beefy. I was worried it could get stuck in there, but it went in no problem at all. And they actually make, now that of course you look, you can actually get, they literally make a drain hole brush, right? Sunroof drain hole brush you can get on Amazon for like $7. But anyway, I used a piece of copper line, like what you would find inside of a Romex, but like one of those singles, but it's it's sturdy. And I jammed it in there. Yeah, get in there. And I had a little bit of soap if I needed to lube it up. And I got down into something. Eventually it sort of stopped, and I jammed it around. And I thought I might have got it, but I don't know. Then I went back in again, and this time I really hit it. Now when I took it out, it was like muddy on the bottom, like this much was just mud. And I said, oh, there you go. You're getting something. And then I jammed it back in again, and I cut it a little bit short, a little bit, maybe this far out from where it was going in, rather than like this far out. Cut it down about here. And I put a drill on the end of it, and I very slowly started to turn it around in there and try to jam it in. Yeah, get in there, you. And then I poured some water in there, and nothing came out. And I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. And I went back in with the drill and drilled it again. And it came out, and it was wet at the end. And I look out, and there it is coming out from the bottom of the frame. It's supposed to come out through the frame. And I was like, oh, God, my long friggin' nightmare is over. I poured another cup of water in. It's all coming right through out through the frame where it should. It's supposed to come out at the bottom of the frame. And then I did the other side, and the same thing. It was a little jammed. That one wasn't nearly as bad as the passenger side, but I did the driver's side, got it through, poured the water, and it came right down through the frame again. And I was like, I think that's it. I think that is it. I tried a blowgun, John. That was the first thing I did. But I couldn't really get a good seal on it, even though I had a rubber cone for a tip. You know what I'm saying? You know that tip, that black rubber cone tip. I couldn't quite get it at the right angle. You know what I needed? I needed an extension to get it out and away from it, and with a little bit of an angle, so I could get in, because it's it's in the corner, just to get in on it just right and get I couldn't get a good seal on it. It wasn't working. But just jamming a friggin' wire down there. Big copper friggin' wire. Insulated. I went with the white one for whatever reason. And it totally worked. I was so friggin' happy. So, we'll see. We'll see. I will keep an eye on it, but we have some snow coming up. Don't we have like a foot of snow on the way? RJ made it. What's up, buddy? I know I needed Billy Mays. Yeah, where's my Finally got the pedal board going. Do. 70% chance, yeah. No, they put us squarely in the 6 to 12 inch range, but they were saying it's probably going to be more like 6. The producers make us do this. I swear to God, sometimes the meteorologists are like, yeah, they're saying 6 to 12, but we're thinking it's probably closer to 6. The friggin' producers trying to pump it up. Well, that doesn't sound good. That's good. That's a tiny bit out. Oh, just a wee bit. Who do I have tomorrow in the Super Bowl? The Chiefs or the Niners? You know, I'm not really rooting for either team. I am quite indifferent. But if I was a betting man, and I'm not, it's hard to bet against Mahomes. You know? Like, it was hard to bet against Brady. He's probably can't win this, but then, he turns out he can. So, it's hard to bet against certain dudes, and he's one of them. Did you try this free tonocracy or neural amp modeler? Well, I did not see Neural DSP at the NAMM show. There was a giant empty booth area with a big sign that said soon and the Neural DSP logo. And I was like, oh, you fucking tease. How much did that cost? Ever play guitar with an Evertune bridge? I have. And the one I played was not set up for bends, which is a little weird. Right? It was set up for maximum stability. And when you set it up for that, there's no bends. There's no bending. And that's a little weird. You're just so of a bluesy sort of background. It is weird to bend a note and it just sounds the same. No matter how hard you friggin' bend it. You're like, the hell is wrong with you? But you can set it up so it does bend. Right? But the one I tried was not. And it was a little weird. You could tell though, I mean, you literally couldn't bend it out of friggin' tune. I mean, how crazy is that? I've not tried any Solar. Solar was at the NAMM show, in 2020, but only Ola was at the NAMM show in 2024. Solar Guitars was not. So I didn't have a chance to try one in 2024. And in 2020, his booth was was a bit of a circus. Everybody, There is a dude who likes to go to these shows and sit there and play guitars. I don't get it. It's like the worst place to try out a freaking guitar. But there's definitely a breed of dude who loves to go to these shows and they want to try out. They're like a kid in the candy. They want to try out every frigging guitar. And I'm just like, why? Feels like a colossal waste of time and effort. How would that work on a unison bend? Well, it wouldn't, right? Like, there's just no bending. You bend the note and it's just the friggin' same. It's crazy because it just, as you increase tension, the spring moves forward in just the right amount, proportionally to keep the amount of final tension pounds the same. Right? Isn't that how it works? It's a spring loaded against, so that if you decrease tension, it adds tension to make sure it doesn't go flat. And if you increase tension, it decreases tension to make sure you don't go sharp. I'm at name for the females, I know, right? On Booby Watch. Hey, baby. I noticed you have boobies. I like boobies too. Never works. Not even once. What's so funny is I saw Tom Quayle twice. And both times it was on the escalator. The first time we saw each other was like very early on. And we shook hands as he went by. And I said, well, I'll see you at the show. He's like, we'll definitely see each other. It was like Saturday. I'm like leaving. We see each other. I go, I'm leaving now. He goes, this was our NAM. I'm like, I know. He comes by on the escalator. I'm on the down. He's on the up. We were laughing. Oh, man. I do like this guitar. Like the pickups. So fix the sunroof. That was a huge accomplishment this week. There was another the Samsung. I sent it back. I couldn't risk. They say they're going to fix it. So far they haven't fixed it. I don't know that they're going to fix it. They probably will fix it. It probably is a software thing, but I don't know. I didn't want to get stuck with the phone. I didn't want to, what if it wasn't software and then I was just going to be bummed. It was, my old phone, the screen was just so much better, which usually that's not the case, right? Usually every year the screen is just a little bit better, but there was definitely a flaw. And then there was all this, everybody just seizing on every little thing that they can find. Someone gets a chat bot to say, no, that's the way it's supposed to be. And they're all screaming at how Samsung says that's the way it's supposed to be. It's like, don't take some customer service agent from like one little locale and call it like whatever. Samsung hasn't said shit about that problem. Nothing. They've been dead silent. And then people have been leaking that they're going to fix it and all this stuff. But one woman said it best. She's like, this phone has like a gray-white haze over it. I'm like, that's exactly what it is. Like everything has this like milky haze like over on top of it. Like, again, so the colors seem washed out, right? Because it's got this like washed out friggin' haze over it. So, again, they can probably fix it, but who friggin' knows? And I don't want to take a risk. I sent it right back. There's always next year. I'll take a look at the Galaxy S25. And people say, well, if they fix it, will you get it again? Probably not. Again, I got that for half price and double the storage. That was the deal for pre-ordering. It was half off, no trade-in. Half off with no trade-in. So I get that. So it was really basically a free upgrade for me. The plan was buy new phone for $650, sell old phone for $699, netting about $650, because that's what they were going for on eBay. I think I could get $699 for my old phone all day long. And then, pay off new phone with proceeds. Free new phone. That was the plan. But new phone sucked. Was literally painful to look at. Couldn't get past horrible, washed out, white, hazy screen. And I sent that shit right back. That's that. Just get out and buy an iPhone. I will. If you will sell me, they won't do it. They won't sell me an iPhone Pro Max 15 with no trade-in for $650. If they would do that, I would do it. I was getting the flagship Samsung top-of-the-line model with everything flagship for $650 and no trade-in. So I paid $599 last year. I was paying $50 more. So that's a flagship from last year. It's an amazing phone. Takes awesome everything. They screwed up on the screen this year. They just did. Color profile was way off. So, But again, no one. I do that. No one will sell me the phone for that. And in exchange for the phone for $650, I would give up to 120 days, 4 months on a contract. That was the deal I got. But again, nobody wants to do that. Why can't you just give me the phone? No? All right, well, then I'm not getting it. I just need a 2024 friggin' flagship for less than $650. Your trade-in was the 6S. I got my sister a 6. I think it was the 6S. It was the iPhone 6 or the 6S. For $1. It was $1 at Best Buy. When I try a Samsung Z Fold, I don't need. I kind of like the Note. I like the pen. I use the pen a lot to shoot photos, because it's a lot easier than trying to tap it with your finger. So I can put the phone, up on a holder and shoot using the Bluetooth pen. You can press the button on the pen and it activates the shutter. And you know what? It's pretty damn good. I never have to use the crappy front-facing phone for a selfie. I can turn it around and use the good phone, the one on the back, and just set it to the wide angle and use the pen to take the shot, and it always looks amazing, way better than the front camera, ever could. So, that. I would think about a Google Pixel. Problem is that Google Pixels are more of a mid-tier phone than a completely high-end phone. One thing I will say about this Galaxy S23 is it is loaded. That's why it was such a disappointment, right? It's like every year, it's like you get it and the screen is like blows you away and the camera like blows you away. I will say one thing. I did look at some photos between the S23 and the S24. And the S24 definitely had a little bit higher dynamic range, without a doubt. It squashed blown out highlights like, light bulbs. Just a little bit better, than the S23. But I couldn't get past the friggin' screen. It had the green cast when you put the eye comfort on. Oh no, they had the colors way off on that panel. And again, maybe it wasn't. Some people said they weren't having problems. Maybe it wasn't a widespread problem with every phone. Maybe it was just a certain run of phones, and maybe it really is a panel problem. Who knows? I didn't want to be the test subject on that. You know. Yeah, so Ron, it depends. It could have been whether it was made, because some were made in Korea, some were made in Vietnam. Another dude said his was made in Taiwan. So I wonder if there were 3 different factories making phones. Who knows? I wouldn't doubt it. Right, it might just depend on where you're going with the phone on its final destination. Mine was definitely Vietnam, it said on the end of my box. But other dudes said that theirs was definitely Korea. But they might have been in the UK. I don't know that they were getting, right? So, and I remember last year my said, so that's an old one. Did it say? Boy, that's an old box. That's a 986U. And I can see it says Vietnam. And the crazy thing is some people were saying that the camera, they were having a problem with their camera, but I didn't have a problem with my camera. So again, it's hit or miss with this year's Galaxy S24. And I didn't want to be the guinea pig on that. My S23 is awesome. It's an amazing phone. The only reason why I was getting the S24 was because I was getting it pretty much for nothing. And once I wasn't, then I wasn't. See ya. Yeah, the S is for shit, apparently. Again, very unlike them. I never have. When I got my first, when did I get my first Note? I got the Note 3. That would have been in 2014. It was in like January of 2014 because we went out to dinner with my parents at the British Ale House. I got the bangers and mash, if I remember correctly. And my parents pull out these giant friggin' screens. I'm like, what? And my dad had just turned 80. And because of his status at the VA hospital, he qualified for a veteran's pension. So he started getting like thousands of dollars a month from the government. And so he ran right down to Best Buy and bought like 2 brand new phones. One for himself and one for my mom. This was in January of 2014, 10 years ago. And I remember looking at him going, okay. Crazy. Tactical says this 23 says Vietnam. I think mine did too, but I used my box to ship my old phone to someone I sold on eBay last year, so I don't even have my old box. And so it was like whatever. My wife and I were very amused by these giant friggin' phones. What the hell is that? Uh, and so the next day, my dad calls me up and he says, "Hey, what'd you think of those phones?" I said, "They look pretty cool." He goes, "Do you want one?" And I was like, "No, not really, because I have an iPhone. I had a 4S at the time." I said, and I'm so in on the Apple ecosystem here, and I have so many apps. I couldn't see myself like moving on from Apple and going to like Android. I just don't see it happening. And he goes, "Well, we were hoping that you would get it and like learn how to use it and maybe show us how to use it." I was like, "All right, well, let me see if I can go deal with this phone, and I'll tell you what, if I can get most of the apps that I had on Apple on Android, then sure, whatever, I'll just switch over." So we went down to Best Buy, and he bought me, and it was cheap. It was like, I want to say it was $179. It's not a lot of money. It was like $179, and the phone was on sale. He knew it was on sale. They had got theirs on Sunday because they knew they were on sale for the week. We saw them Monday, and this was like a Tuesday. We went and got the phone, and it was getting around like close to like 2 o'clock roughly. Like once around 1:30, 1:40, like I got to go. I got to get my kids from school, and the parking lot gets so crazy. I had really worked out a system where I would get there about 30 minutes ahead of time and back into my spot very close to the front and just waited out there than trying to fight with people trying to park and get in there. I always got there like literally 30, 40 minutes before school got out and just waited in the parking lot because it was a hell of a lot less aggravation than getting there when it was busy. So I got the new phone, activated it on my number. I was on AT&T, and I had to go straight from the Best Buy parking lot to the elementary school to wait in the friggin' parking lot for my kids to get out. And normally what I'd do is I'd be listening to like sports radio and, playing around on my phone. And I install like Facebook and like log in, and the first thing I notice is how much friggin' faster this new Samsung is than my iPhone 4S. I mean, it is not even close. It is crushing it in speed. And I don't even know that it's necessarily like processor speed or something like that. It was my old phone used to say 4G, but it was never 4G. It was always 3G. And this new phone was 4G LTE, and holy Christ, was this thing so much faster. It was ripping Facebook pages in. So I was like, oh my God, this is light years beyond that Apple phone. But there were some things I was just so used to on the Apple, like the visual voicemail, that they just did not have, or so I thought, on the Samsung. But what I found out was it was just a la carte. It was put out by AT&T, and I just had to download AT&T visual voicemail, and then boom, it worked. So I really did have visual voicemail where it would download it and I could play it back, and it would, show me what it thought it said, So, little by little, I just realized that the Samsung was infinitely faster, certainly out in the wild. I mean, I remember doing a test like downtown and getting like 36 megabit out of it, which is, I think at the time, my cable modem was like 15 megabit or 20 megabit. You know what I'm saying? It's like at the time, those were some pretty serious numbers. My latest one, my Galaxy, when I got onto the new plan with Google Fi, I went out to see how fast it was, and I went down by a tower where I knew a tower was, and I was getting 650 megabit out of it, which is, that's a pretty good number out in the wild. Not going over Wi-Fi, right, over a 5G connection. 650 megabit. That's pretty good. So anyway, that's why I've stuck with Samsung all these years. And you tend to get kind of like a free phone. The worst I got was ganked was when I was on AT&T, and I was just like, changing up to a new phone every year, and they had me on a plan that charged me a little bit more money so I could just trade in the old phone. That was a gank. It was much, much better to just take the old phone and sell it and find someone willing to give you a discount on the new phone in exchange for staying on the plan. They started to come around on that. There was definitely a big pushback on phones for a while, but they're coming back around. They're like, now we'll give you but again, they do it in a horrible way. They give you 36 monthly credits. So you got to be on there for 36 months to get all that back. With the deal I got on this phone and I got on the one I just sent back was an instant half price. All you have to do is stay on and you earn the half price. And if you go off, like when I re-enabled this phone and took the other phone, I deactivated the other phone. Google immediately sent me an email saying, whoa, you're on a promotion to save $650 on this phone. If you don't reactivate that phone, you're going to lose that promotion. And I was like, no biggie, I'm sending the phone back. So it wasn't a problem. iPhone was not 100. When I first got the iPhone, it was only available on AT&T for the first 2 or 3 years. But by the time I think I went to the Samsung, I want to say Verizon they finally got the iPhone, and now they're on every carrier. The difference between the A series and the S series, the A series is the low budget, is the low cost, their budget series. That's the summer series, right, that they put out halfway through the year. S series is the premium series, comes out in the winter, right, January, February. A series comes out in the summer, July or August, something like that. But the A has some pretty good, very much like how Google does it. Right? They put out the Pixel 8, and then they'll put out the Pixel 8a, and the 8a is a much lower cost version of it, but not that much lower in terms of spec. Right? They really do tend to be a bargain. They sort of repackage the earlier components to some degree, or you get the one from last year, but it's usually pretty good specs, considering what you're paying for the phone. My poor kids, we went to AT&T and they traded in all their phones, my wife and my kids, and they got all brand new stuff. Now when we went to trade the phones in, they started balking at giving us what they had told us, which was $1,000 a phone. And they were going to give us $300. I said, no way, you're going to get those phones back. And they were like, no, you're going to have to. We're not going to give you $1,000. We're going to give you $300 on a trade-in. I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. Give me the phones back. I'll take them back. I'll see it within a day or two. I'll give you those phones back, the new phones. And we returned them, and then we just called up AT&T and bitched them out to say, no, that guy promised us $1,000 a phone. Then when we got there, he said, oh, wait, I can't give you $1,000. I can only give you $300. And, they refunded our restocking fee. Because it was an AT&T owned store, so they could. A big pain in the ass. Oh, I was livid. I knew it was. I could see that coming to mind. As soon as he said $300, I said, "Oh, dude, you're gonna get these phones back. That doesn't work. You can't quote us $1,000 and then say $300. That gets you your phones back, and we'll call the AT&T. We'll get our friggin' because what they do is they refund you the taxes you paid on it, and they keep a portion of that as a restocking fee. It's so we just called up AT&T, and they, which is the great thing about AT&T. You know, some of these places you call, and you call AT&T and you go, yeah, I was charged a restocking fee, and you hear, yeah, I just wiped that out. Anything else, sir? No, nope, that was it. Okay, thank you for calling AT&T. Like, boom, over. Done. I remember calling GoPro, and the guy was like, go to our, they're a glorified sitemap for GoPro website. They do nothing. Zero. They can't do a thing. They're basically saying, go to the website. Go to the website. I can help you, like, turn the phone on. You need, like, help with the phone? I'd say, no. I need to store credit right now. Like, go to the website. We can't do any of that. Nothing like that. There's no customer service there. It's all, they push you to the website. Go to the website. That, I am sure that they've been trained. You just move everybody to the website, and they go to the website. They're literally a glorified sitemap. AT&T doesn't work in your area. I'm on Google Fi, which is basically T-Mobile. Now, they were T-Mobile and U.S. Cellular, but apparently there was a falling out with U.S. Cellular. I think U.S. Cellular got bought. So they, I think they got dropped from U.S. Cellular, which doesn't affect us. U.S. Cellular isn't really up here. I think that's more of a southern or a western thing. Up here, it's mainly T-Mobile, AT&T, and Verizon. I've never had a problem connecting. Oh, I know, like trying to cancel Sirius XM. My God, trying to cancel Vonage. Oh, my God. It's like, dude, can you just cancel me? What are we doing? I'm tired of this conversation. I have grown tired of this conversation. The next words out of your mouth better be, sir, you're all set. You've been canceled. Barring that, I'm through answering questions about whether I'm interested in any deals. Let's do this. Let's get this done. And we did. We got it done. Big pain in the ass. I had been with them for a long time, too. I've been with Vonage forever on a business account. My thoughts on Windows 11, it's not bad. I do tweak it. I get rid of that stupid contextual menu, right-clicking menu. They totally screwed up the, like the right-click menu. But there's a way to fix it. There's a registry hack that fixes it. So once I run that, it's a little bit easy to deal with because you don't have to right-click and then click like show more options to get to the menu you should have got it when you first right-clicked. When you right-click, you should get this big menu, but they're like, no, we need to streamline. And then if you need all the options, you click more options. It's like, that's stupid. Why would you do that? Well, it's less cluttered. Oh, really? Like, do you understand that we're not, it's function over form, dumbass. Function over form. Windows is dying to turn, Microsoft is dying to turn Windows into a subscription model. Oh, my God. Or they just basically a giant ad platform. You know, I had a guy break it down. He goes, I think it was Twitter at the time. He's like, Twitter, if they can get a monthly subscription, they'd make like something like $480 million in the first year. He goes, they do $4.6 billion in the same period. It's not even close. It's like literally 10 times the money that they pull in with advertising. So Microsoft sees that and they go, yeah, We'd love to pull in a few extra billion every year just by serving up friggin' ads to people's eyeballs as they try to get around their computer, which would just be a nightmare because all these like ad blockers are going to come out for your friggin' PC. That's that's what's going to happen. And they're trying to push everyone to the so-called like modern apps, that come out of the Windows store. And again, they look like friggin' web applets. They do not look freaking full function. They really don't. They look like they look like web apps. Like so friggin' basic. But again, they really want to push that whole thing. Now, you used to be able to download, the Amazon app for your desktop and install it. Now, when you do that, it's just a stub that brings you to the Microsoft Store to download the Store app. Because they're pushing everyone to those new apps now. They're like, stop having people download executables. Do I have an Android box for TV? Well, I have a Google TV. That TV back there is a Google TV. So it's got all the Google apps. But we had everything. The only one we never tried out was Peacock, but we have Apple TV and we have Max and Netflix. We have Hulu with no commercials. We have Disney Plus. So we do have a bunch of services. We had Paramount Plus. We never watched it. So we canceled Paramount Plus. I was going to try, Peacock, but I'm waiting. You have to wait and get a good deal on it. I blocked the MS store for my work at. I wasn't having that crap. I know, right? It's like, it really is a pain in the ass that they're trying to, come up with this whole new ecosystem. Their sandboxed friggin' ecosystem. Well, they're all trying to fracture JTB. There were out way too many streaming services. Now, every show is going to have its own friggin' streaming service. Right? Remember when you used to get 40 channels on cable? Now you need 40 streaming services. Each one is $10. The problem with Peacock is that they price it so that to get to the ad-free tier, because who the hell is buying streaming and not getting ad-free? That's the whole point of it. There's an extra $6. So what you're trying to do is, instead of paying $4.99 a month or $5.99 a month, you're trying to get that for 99 cents or $1.99 a month. Then you tack on the $6 premium to get to ad-free, and you're around $5.99, $6.99, $7.99 for the service, which is workable. When it's $11.99, $14.99, $18.99, it starts to get a little nutty every month. And they just upped they got me in on Apple TV at $6.99. I swear to God, my last one was just $9.99. They just upped it by 50%. $3 on $6. Gets you to $9. YouTube TV, $78 a month, yeah. It's funny because someone was complaining about Phil McKnight's like live show about like all the ads. Yeah, because Phil never turned off don't roll ads midstream. He can turn it off. He doesn't. You know, people are like, why am I seeing ads midstream? Because he has it set to have YouTube place ads midstream at their choosing randomly. That it depends on the user and when it comes out. But you shouldn't see an ad midstream here unless you just joined. There's always an ad at the beginning and an ad at the end. That I can't control. Even if I turned off monetization, they would still play those ads. I just wouldn't get any money. But they won't. They never make it. I can't say, don't play any ads on my channel. They're like, yeah, we're an ad platform. We don't do that. It's whether or not you want to share in the money. That's all. That's literally all they do. It's like so bad. But I am annoyed. Very, very much annoyed by mid-roll ads. And so I turn them off. I go through great lengths. And they constantly badger me that they're like, stop worrying about mid-roll ads. Let us handle that. I'm like, no. It's because Phil says he can't turn them off. Of course he can. He can absolutely turn them off. Once he chooses to do it, I wonder if he can't turn it off. But I believe you have a choice, because every time I do a live show, they stop me on that panel and they go, "Are you sure you want to keep manual mid rolls and you don't want to switch to automatic mid rolls?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm positive. I don't want manual. I want manual mid rolls." And then of course I never run them, except on Christmas. That's our big mid. That's when it's the adpocalypse. But if you're seeing ads, besides, you know what? Was it a week ago, a couple weeks ago? Was it last week? Phil just very casually mentioned, and I hadn't even, I had, again, usually I have an ear to that stuff, but he kind of very casually mentioned how he was no longer with Badlands. I was like, really? Because that feels like you were just with them like a few weeks ago. It was weird. But he just, he's like, oh, I started with Badlands, but I'm no longer with them, and blah, blah, blah. And he just glossed right over it. I was like, huh. A big matzo ball hanging out there? What the hell is that? Like, That feels like there's more to that story. I keep hearing noises upstairs, but I don't see anything. There's people on the first floor. It was weird. He was talking about the BC Rich thing. And like in the middle of talking about BC Rich, I think he just casually mentioned, he said, yeah, I started, Badlands, blah, 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 but I'm no longer with them. And I was like, oh, that's weird. That's crazy. Yeah, YouTube. Yeah, TK. Oh, TK talked about it. See, I haven't seen TK. He's on so late I don't watch his show. I'm usually asleep. TK talked about it, said it was Phil's personal reasons. Okay, yeah, whatever. It happens. Yeah, Phil has a Kiesel signature. Yeah, see, that's the other thing that was weird. I said, wow, it's weird coming up with a signature guitar if you have a guitar company, but maybe that's one of the reasons why he didn't want to be in a guitar company, because he'd rather have the signature model. I think Phil is just a consultant to get him started. That could be it. And maybe it was always a plan. The worst ads on Fire Stick with no ad blockers. That's why I watch almost no content on my phone. I can't even look at it. I can't look at the internet on my phone. When people text me YouTube links, I cringe, because it's like, I don't want to open this link on my freaking phone. It's like I wind up like clicking on it for a split second and then going and watching it on my computer. It's not really signature, it's just a skew. Oh, I see what you're saying. For a model to help people order one like Phil ordered. I see what you're saying. You have any Kiesels? You know, I had a Carvin, which was a very well-made instrument. I mean, you could clearly see it was real nice. It had a bird's eye maple fretboard and everything, but the neck was a little chunky, a little bit thicker than I like, and I just never bonded with it. I just never. It was probably the neck. I probably just was turned off by the larger neck. And because of that, I didn't really play it all that much. And the next thing you know, I sold it. That was tough. So who you guys rooting for tomorrow? Like I said, I'm not really rooting for anyone. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Kansas City wins it just because of Mahomes. Do I do any guitar finishing? Not really, no. Rooting for the cheerleaders. Sure. '49ers, yeah. Rather see the 49ers win it, but you'd think KC will do it. That's probably a reasonable take, yeah. I don't watch the NFL. No, not even watch. You hope they both lose? Sure. Well, sadly, that will not happen. One will be victorious. 49ers haven't watched football in a dozen years. That's not the question. You're answering the question no one asked. It was just at the Guitar Center on Boylston in the Fenway. That's the old WBCN building. Right? 1265 Boylston Street. That's where WBCN used to reside. KC. A Super Bowl commercial still a big thing. They're saying it's $7 million for a 30-second commercial. In jail for Purdy. Used to be winning games posting ISU. You never know. I will tell you what, I think the 49ers are favored, right? Are the 49ers favored? Is Casey getting 2 points? That it feels like it should be the other way around, but maybe they feel like the 49ers are hungrier for it because they haven't been there in a while, where Casey's won it recently, so maybe not so much. Taylor Swift increased the Chiefs brand by over $300 million, so they say, I wouldn't doubt it. She's her own ecosystem. Oh, did they finally close the one on Mass Ave? The only reason why they did it was to be across the street from Berkeley, but I don't think foot traffic is what it used to be. They really didn't need both. I remember when Guitar Center was on, where were they? I thought they were on, over by BU. What's that big street? It's enormous. It goes all the way downtown. Basically Route 2, right? SFB will win the Powerball. Oh, dude, I wish. I get a steak the size of a toilet seat. Commonwealth Ave. Commonwealth Ave, right? They used to be on Com Ave. Niners are -2. Yeah, wow. Yeah, I think you're right, Mike. I don't think we broke the record today. I think we came close. We hit, I think, 59.8, and the record was 60 degrees Fahrenheit. And we set that record last year. If we broke today's record, it would have broken the record of last year's record. You remember the one on Com Ave? Yeah. With that horrible parking space. I think I went there with like an 87 Lincoln Town Car. Could barely drive in there. Ooh, ridiculous. Do I still play my Viper Pro? Not really. Not really. I don't really play amps. I go through with my headphones, 99 and infinite nines. The only time I do it is when I have people over, and that's pretty rare. And a lot of times I'll just go through this, but I don't really play through amps all that often. Headphones, 99% of the time. Familiar with the Epiphone Master Built. Isn't that what that is? No? Yeah, I like to go to the Nashua store because it's right over the line, and there's no sales tax. So that's always good if you're buying something expensive. I bought a guitar up there, $600, and it was great to walk out of the door for just straight up $600 even. Lotus Mini's good. It actually has a surprisingly large neck on it for such a small guitar. But maybe they felt they needed to do that, you know. What amps do I have? Well, I got the Rev, the little Rev G20. I got the Hughes and Kettner. I got that PV back there, whatever that is, a 6505 Plus. I got the other PV down there. I got a Panama around here somewhere, down over there. Probably got a Katana. Never turn them on. None of them. Not a one. Not a single one. We don't need no stinking amps. What's funny is that, like, little by little, like, everybody's going to digital because they can't ignore how consistent it is, right? So I wanted to show you, let me see if I can do this. Can I change that? No, not really. What a pain in the ass. I got some new No? It's a video I have coming out soon. This is from the Made in Rock series. It's kind of like a, you know, like a Marshall kind of looky. Kind of stereo, right? There's one. No. No, where's the... Oh, there's one. I think that's got a fuzz on it. That's the fuzz off. Do 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 do. I think it's this one. You know, again, sort of like a Marshall-y sounding. Interesting. Like they have a phaser. And they have it on, but they have it like set so low you can't really hear it, but it's still on. It probably adds a little bit of filtering. Not bad. Again, kind of weird, but where's the... And I feel like the mic is too far away. There you go. Maybe touch off of that. Oh yeah. Anyway, that's part of the Made in Rock series. That and the Friedman pack I'll be covering at some point. That's my normal patch, which is like a British amp with a friggin' overdrive in front of it. So if I add, just out of curiosity, if I bring, can I bring this here and there? Oh yeah, and this. Oh yeah, it does work. So even though this patch didn't have the Cry Baby Wah, I could just drag one over, and my foot pedal was already assigned because I did the global assigning instead of per patch. And if I hit, and there it goes. So I should have some new videos this week. I have a new guitar to go over, and some new software stuff. Like I said, I have the Marty Friedman pack and the Maiden Rock pack. And what else? I don't know. Just off the top of my head. Did I hang with Phil X at NAMM? Not really. I did see him. Gave a big hug. We talked for a little bit, but he was busy. I've hung out with him more like in Germany or at like, even like the Dallas show. We were sort of hanging out together a little bit more. The NAMM was so busy and so many people wanted a piece of him. It was hard for him to walk around without getting stopped, like non-stop. You know who got really sick at NAMM was Henning. I saw Henning the first night, and then I saw him the next day, and he wasn't doing well. He never came back. That was it. He spent most of his time. He went to that rockin' boat cruise and spent most of his time in the cabin sick. I think he got the flu. Had a fever. I did see Rick Beato and said hello very briefly. He was with Tim Pierce. Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday is such a wasted day. Like the whole day is just waiting around and waiting around and waiting around till the friggin' kickoff. A lot of people get sick at NAMM because you jam 100,000 people in a single space. That'll do it. Somebody's sick. The same reason why people get sick in the winter. We tend to congregate indoors more. And somebody's sick. The worst is when your kids get it. When you have kids in school, because it runs through the school like freaking wildfire. Everybody gets a cold. Everybody gets sick. Did you go not touching much, as you said? Yeah, I did the same thing, and I was washing my hands like pretty crazy. So like a couple of nights, I just went over to Habit Burger and grabbed myself a burger. And when I got back, before I touched anything, washing my hands like thoroughly. That's a good way just to try to keep from getting sick. And I didn't get sick. So many people did. I did not get sick this year. My wife just got over a massive cold. She was literally she had no voice a couple of days ago. She was losing it and then completely lost her voice. Finally started getting it back yesterday. A little bit better today, but God, she was so sick. Day after the Super Bowl should be a holiday. Well, for a lot of people it is. They just blow work off because they're friggin' hungover. I know, without my jacket. And it was cold that friggin' night. Walking down there going, damn it. It's like you enjoyed yourself at NAMM. I had a great time at NAMM. The flight was really, really inexpensive. I was looking at maybe going to the Dallas Guitar Show, but it's not that cheap. It's kind of pricey. Same with like maybe going to Henning's. If Henning had his event in September, it would be a lot cheaper than in August. Because June, July, and August is European vacation time when a lot of Americans go to Europe on vacation, especially in late August. That's a very classic time for Americans to go on vacation in late August. So it's tricky because prices are still up. They're still trying to gank and get that money. Just even a few weeks later, in mid-September, it is like literally 30-40% cheaper for the same friggin' flight because you're out of season now. Oh, thanks, Paul. You said it was in the 50s. I felt for you. You look different there than you do here normally. What, when I was in California, I looked different? Well, I probably had lost a lot of weight because I was friggin' walking around. I did like almost 10 miles of walking my first day, like 9.8 miles. Like 21,000 steps almost, like 20,000, like 900. We'll figure out what we're going to do for food tomorrow. We usually do some sort of food event. Yeah, California, damn, that's more steps than I did in 2023, yeah. I don't think you have a Vola guitar you don't like. No, I like all my Volas. I really do. I really do like the Volas. You know, especially the only reason why I'm not playing the blue one is because I feel like I've been playing it a lot lately, and people just get sick of me playing the same guitar. But that is the guitar I play like most of the time. It's the blue Vola TNC. That's sort of my daily driver right now. The only reason why I'm playing this one is because I was doing the Maiden Rock thing, and I wanted the 2 humbuckers. Yeah, nobody tonight. Cutie's over there. You can see her feet. She's knocked out. Sunroofs are never a great idea, yeah. Someone's on the sunroof section of this right now. What does a Vola like this go for? That's a good question. Hold on. We can find out. I don't really know right now what they're going for. It's an Oz. Yeah, see, they went up slightly. That was $13.99. They're up to $14.39. This was $8.39. I think they've gone up for this year to $8.59. That's still a deal, though. That's crazy good. So this is this one. $11.29. $11.29. And it comes with the soft case. It's a walled case, though. It's not a bag. It's got sidewalls. Right there. There she blows. Right there. And I wish I could breadcrumb this. Yeah. That's like my blue. That comes with the hard case, though. Hard shell case. What I'd like to get here is I thought this rosewood looked pretty slick. They don't do a lot of rosewood. They usually do like all these other ones are maple. That's like one of the few ones, and I kind of like that with the shell pink. And I love I'm a sucker for metallic paint finishes. So I really like the look of that one, or the Cobra Blue, which is like what the Shelby Cobra. But I do like the rosewood fretboard. Put me down as I'm a fan. And I think, quite frankly, rosewood goes with the pink. Looks way more, because by the time Fender was getting around to that custom color, they were doing pretty much all rosewood. They weren't really doing the maple any longer. They had switched to rosewood. Almost that time. Have a good Sunday, everyone. See if you saw it. No, you rock, Surf B. All right, dudes. It is just about 9 a.m. somewhere in the world, but it's almost 9 p.m. here. So we're going to call it a night. And I'm going to go heat up a slice of pizza that I have left over from earlier. That's actually pretty damn good. And there you go. Thanks to everyone for hanging out. Super extra special thanks to anyone who contributed. That is always appreciated. And a brofist to my Mod Squad. Hashtag brofist. Hashtag Mod Squad. And we will see everybody a week from tonight, where we will discuss this week's Super Bowl. I lost my shirt. Who would have thought the game would have ended 5-11? That makes no sense. Anyway, have a wonderful week. I should have at least one, if not two videos out this week. And we'll do it all again next week. And thanks so much for hanging out. No, you rock. And there you have it. We've said it all. We've done it. And there it is. All right, dudes. See ya. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you're watching that, or the Superb Owl if that's what you're into. Either way, have a wonderful rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. And there you have it. All right. Later.